Hello, friends. How's it going? Hope you're having a good Monday. I am having a day where, like, my work day didn't start until much later in the day than normal. And so it feels like the morning to me. And also, it feels very late in the day to start my work day. Just had like a lot of afternoon meetings. Anyway, glad to be with you again today on day 18 of my 30-day challenge to go live every day, which was the kick in the pants I needed to start getting myself back in the going live game. I had sort of shied away from it. I had a weekly live that I was doing that I was missing. I wasn't consistent with it. And so Katie McManus and Katie's my business coach and a very good friend. And we decided to challenge each other to 30 days going live. And we've chosen our own consequence if we don't go live. And for me, that consequence is that I have to take an objectively unflattering photo of myself and post it. And I don't really want to do that. So it's been actually incredibly motivating and a lot of fun to have an everyday goal that has a consequence I've chosen for myself. It's a, choose your own adventure in punishment kind of thing. But it has made me go live every day. So that's pretty great. Today, we're going to talk about getting ready to get ready, which is a thing that we all do. And it's a thing that, like, nobody says they do, but we all do it. And we all procrastinate in getting to something because we're trying to get ready to get ready. And the clearest example, and I don't really like using sports examples, but the clearest example of this is going to the gym so that you're in shape enough to hire a trainer, and or losing weight so that you feel thin enough to hire a nutritionist to teach you to eat correctly, right? Like, I'll lose the weight first, and then once I get to the weight I want to be at, I will hire a nutritionist to teach me to keep it off. When really, the nutritionist is there to help you eat in a way that makes you feel good. And it's not necessarily always about weight loss. The fitness instructor or the trainer is there to help you figure out how to safely get in the shape that you want to get into. There's not a trainer in the world, unless they're sort of like a D-bag, right? Which is a word I'm not going to say live out loud because I don't want to get in trouble from the algorithm people. But unless they're a D-bag, they're not going to look at you and be like, oh, I've never seen someone so out of shape. Wow. And if they do, like, leave. That's a bad trainer. That's a horrible person. We do this at work too. We do this in our professional careers. After this project is over, I'm going to set some boundaries. After I take on this one extra person who's being assigned to me for me to manage, I'm going to set a boundary and say no more new people. After I'm sent to this new office location to clean it up after the last person who messed it up, I am not moving to any more fixer-upper locations in my company. It's always like the next thing. And it's when we're getting ready to get ready, it's always going to be over the hill we're standing in front of. And we do this when we're going to look for a new job. I was actually just talking to someone the other day who is a friend who said, well, my kids are home for the summer, both from school. My kids are home for the summer, and I don't know. I feel like I should wait to look for a new job until they're back at their one's grown up and just graduated from college and will be going off to live somewhere else. The other one is, on break. And so I'm just going to wait until they're back in school to start looking for a new job. I have a client who decided to wait to look for a new job until she figured out exactly what she wanted. And then a job that she'd applied to a while back came through, and she actually decided to take it because she's doing this work. She's doing the work on herself that maybe this isn't her ideal job, but it is on the way to her ideal job. And it's exactly what she wants theoretically in a job if she's staying corporate. And she's a great example. These two people, both amazing people, are great examples of what happens when you're getting support versus when you are trying to do the doing on your own so that you can get ready to get ready to get ready to be ready to do something. And I'm not in here preaching because I have lived this. I have been getting ready to get ready to move for a couple of years now. And I didn't know where I wanted to move to. So I was just like getting ready to get ready. And instead of just like up and moving, I have been waiting to find the right place to move to. Good news is I figured it out and I know where I want to move, and I'm getting ready to put my condo on the market. And there's really no bad news with it, except that I didn't do any research because like I was getting ready to start thinking about when I wanted to move and where I wanted to move. And in the meantime, I've been working in not ideal situation, not ideal location, which is my office, which to you looks like my office. And to me is my former dining room that looks out onto my living room. And for a human who works by herself and at home and only has my dog to worry about, and she is great at keeping confidentiality, that's been okay. But it hasn't been ideal. And I left my corporate job to build ideal. And I just happened to stumble upon the place that I want to live, which is Lewis, Delaware. And I'm going to be moving there in the next several months. And so right now I'm getting my apartment ready, but in an active getting ready to get ready kind of way. I have a deadline for myself that by the end of next week, I will call a realtor to come and look at my place so that I can get this place on the market, see how quickly it can sell, and then look at the market in Lewis so that I can make the move. I wouldn't have done this if I didn't have the support system that I have built over the last couple of years. I would have had this fleeting thought. I went for a girls' weekend in Lewis about a month ago, and I would have had this fleeting thought that like, oh, I would love to live here. It's so beautiful here. I feel like I'm at home here. And then I would have just come home and been here and said like, I don't know where to move. But because I've built this system of support around me, after being a person who for the first 40 plus years of my life tried to do everything by myself, tried to get ready all by myself, and lived in this world where I worked 80 plus hours a week, kept thinking I might move to a different job, but there was always like a thing that kept me where I was, because after this thing, I'll be ready. After this season, I'll be ready. After this project, I'll be ready. And this path that we take, this pattern we create of getting ready to get ready, keeps us where we are. It's a very good system for those around us and for those that we're serving, because we continue to serve them at our highest capacity. We continue to be high achievers with no boundaries, and our companies take advantage of that. They freaking love it. I mean, it's great for them. They don't really have to give us raises. They don't really have to give us promotions. They don't really have to treat us super well. They just know that we're here to stay, and we're going to just keep doing the things that they ask us to keep doing because we don't have boundaries. So when you think about what you're getting ready for, I want you to ask yourself what you're waiting for. What are you getting ready to get ready to do? Are you in a job, in a career, in a relationship with a company where you're doing what you're doing because you don't know what else you want to do, or because you're scared of what you might want to do and how you might want to do it, or because you think like, at least here, a lot of us play the at least game. At least here I have flexibility. At least here I have the capital of having been employed by this place for long enough that I can take a vacation. But do you? At least here I have a seat at the table that's like right before the table I want to be sitting at. Is that great? what I see with my clients, with people who come to talk to me, is that we've been doing a lot of getting ready to get ready. And we need somebody else to help hold us accountable. And that somebody is never the friend or the partner who is concerned for your safety. And what I mean by that is, if you have a spouse or partner who is super comfortable with you having a predictable job, what feels like a predictable job, and sure, maybe you work too many hours, and sure, maybe you come home stressed out, that paycheck is consistent. And I'm not saying they married you for the paycheck, or maybe they did, and then, go see a relationship therapist. But they are with you and are rooting for the boat to not be rocked in a lot of cases. And I'm not saying this for every partnership, every relationship, but in a lot of cases, we are concerned for our partner. We don't want them to get hurt. We don't want them to be in a worse situation than they're already in. We don't want them to feel like they are getting rejected all the time. And we don't want the apple cart to be upset for ourselves and for our home life. And any kind of risk takes the ability to take risks, right? The other person you don't want to be talking to is your commiserator friend. Now, we all know we have friends who build us up, and we have friends who are like Debbie Downers, negative Nellies, whatever alliterative name you want to give them, who will say, oh, but Lauren, if you start your own business, like, what if it fails? Or what if you get really sick? Or what if you get no clients? What if nobody comes? Like, I've already got those in my head. None of them are true. None of them came true when I started my own business. But I did have people in my life who were concerned for my safety, who said, what if? So I was like having to find a group of people to surround myself with who were entrepreneurs, who did say, like, it's the coolest thing. Super hard, but it's the coolest thing. And I did that. I surrounded myself with those types of people on purpose, because I was never going to move if I didn't have that support around me. I was going to stay in the security of a nonprofit organization that probably would not have let me go, with a CEO changeover. And the new CEO and I did not see eye to eye. We did not want the same things for the organization. And he was the CEO, so he got to make those choices. And I probably would have just left for another corporate type job for 80 to 100 hours a week, like I was doing, if I didn't have the friends around me who dreamed with me, who supported me. So if you're getting ready to get ready right now, there are two things I want you to think about. One, what will the people around you say when you say, I'm ready? I'm ready to look for the new job, or I'm ready to start setting boundaries at work. Are they going to say, well, are you going to get fired for setting boundaries at work? Like, what if you get in trouble? What if your boss doesn't like that? Are you really going to complain about your toxic boss who's been harassing you? Really? What if you get in trouble for that? What if they retaliate against you? Like, yeah, all of that is possible. It's also possible for things to get better. It's also possible for you to find a new job. It's also possible for you to become a really good boundary setter who doesn't allow your boss to treat you the way that they've treated you before. All kinds of possibilities out there. But if you don't surround yourself with people who are willing to support you and aren't just sitting in the seat where they're afraid for you, then you're going to keep getting ready to get ready. The other thing I want you to think about is what kind of professional support you put around you. And I will tell you, for me, hiring a coach was the best thing I ever did. I had therapy. I still have therapy. I love therapy. It's great. And I recommend it for everybody. And also, therapy digs you out of a hole. Therapy addresses your trauma. It addresses your diagnosable conditions, but it doesn't make you actionable. It doesn't ask you, like, who do you want to be? How do you want things to be? What is the action plan for you to get to those things? Even if you're doing like cognitive behavioral therapy, It's really intended to get you out of not okay and into a baseline of functional. Where coaching is, what do you dream about? What, like, good dreams, not bad dreams. I'm a nightmare haver, and I don't want any of those dreams to come true. But like, what do you actually dream that your life can be like? And in the sense of your career, if you're dreaming that your life is going to be about you being the kind of leader you want to be, making the kind of money you want to make, setting the kinds of boundaries that you want to set, avoiding burnout or recovering from burnout, avoiding a toxic workplace or recovering from a toxic workplace, coaching with an executive coach can be absolutely life-changing. I went from being an 80-hour-a-week worker to owning my own business in a very short period of time, learning how to set boundaries before I went out and owned my own business, and figuring out what I wanted to do when I grew up. And now I guess I'm a grown-up. I don't know. Don't tell anybody. I don't want to be targeted as a grown-up or anything. But the really cool thing about working with an executive coach is that you get to be with somebody who has seen, heard, maybe lived this stuff and has come around the corner and has helped other people figure out how to boundary set, how to stand for themselves at work, how to come in as leader and not just colleague and not just please boss like me. There are all kinds of angles to come in from. And the clients that I've worked with in very many cases have changed their entire lives, starting with work and how they treat work and how they treat themselves when it comes to work. And then moving on to other areas of their lives. Oh, look, I've set boundaries here. Oh, look, I'm recovering from burnout over here. Gosh, my home life doesn't suit me the way that I want it to suit me. And I'll tell you this, people who don't come to work with me, a couple of times I have heard people say, I'm afraid that if I come to work with you and I fix what's going on at work and I get the new job or I pick the new career, that I'm actually going to want to blow up my whole life, leave my spouse and just like take the kids and go, or leave my state or my country and just like be out on my own. And that is too scary for me right now. And that's an example of someone who's getting ready to get ready. So I say, you're ready now. Make some choices now. Do some things now. And don't do them alone. You're not alone in this. You get to choose to hire support for yourself, to hire a person who is going to help you figure out how you want things to be and how to go after them. Thank you so much for being here today. I will be back tomorrow for day 19 of 30 Days Live, and I hope you have a great evening. Thanks so much.